All right, you guys, gonna try this again. What's up? Happy Wednesday. This is a live client testimonial with Stephanie. We tried to do it a few minutes ago, but we're having a little technical difficulty. So we're back. We're back. So live client testimonial with Stephanie. She's going to be talking about her experience in from hobbyist to pro. So it should be a good little conversation, a good chat. So let me let her in. Hello, hello, hello. If you're new around here, my name is Ray Whitney, and I am a wedding and portrait photographer and a photography business coach. So happy to have you guys here. All right, let's see if we can get her back. What's up, y'all? As people come in, you can always, I love when people share where they're viewing from. Yeah?
Hi.
Hey there.
Hi. I
Can you
still
see me?
have I still have no video of you, but it like
Oh,
when I know, I don't know if it's my phone. I don't know if I should try to join from maybe my laptop. I don't
well, I can see you, so I think it's fine. You're just
Yeah,
looking
I
at
can hear
yourself.
you.
You can hear me.
I
You're
look
just
at myself. I don't want to, but
You're looking at yourself and just checking yourself out. You look good, girl. I
there we
can
go.
totally see you. So it's okay. It's really
Yeah.
fine. Yes. Well, thank you for joining me today on this live. I know you're like, we're going live.
I know.
Okay.
I was like, I've never done a dual live, so this is fun. This is exciting.
Yes.
Check that off
New
my to-do
things.
list, okay? Check that off my to-do list.
Check. You always know I'm pushing you to do new things. Like I'm always gonna do that. Someone said they can see both of us. Can you see the
Yeah,
comments?
I think I don't know if it's just like on my end, maybe. It must I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay.
Who knows?
Who knows? Well, happy Wednesday, girl. Happy Wednesday. Let's start this convo by you just introducing yourself to the people that might be new around here, telling them your name, what you do, what you shoot, all the things.
All right, so I am Stephanie Hill. I am a family and children's photographer in southern New Jersey. So if you're in New Jersey, I'm Salem, Gloucester, Cumberland County, down south in the Garden part of the Garden State. And again, I specialize in family and children. I really love the like I call them my legacy, those multi-generational family portraits. That's my go-to thing. So I do those here. And I've been working part-time since 2008. Just kind of
Yes.
doing as a hobby. So that's why this program, Hobbyist to Pro, was really exactly what I needed to help me to stop just doing it part-time and working towards getting full-time now. So.
Yes, yes. You know what, Stephanie? I want you to tell the people a little bit about like because you used to work at a camera shop. And so like tell them a little bit about their background and yeah, talk a little bit about that because I think that's so cool.
Yeah, so I went to college. I actually have a degree in video broadcasting. And when I moved back home, I wanted to do something more with photography. And I ended up at the mall working for, it used to be called Picture People.
Yes.
They have since gone out of business, but I loved just getting to know people. And I kind of, as in my like 3 years, I think I was there. I had people that would come in, request me. I had a client base, and I just really loved creating for these people these memories. They kept coming back.
For you.
Funny story, a girl. Yeah, yeah, for me. And one of the girls that I took her newborn pictures, so I did her like milestones, her newborn, her 3 months, her 6 months, her first year. Her mom just found me on Instagram because she is graduating from high school. And her mom's like,
Wow.
obviously, I need you to come do her senior portraits.
I
So,
love
um,
that. Total full circle
no,
moment.
I know it's full circle moment. I may have cried. I'm like, how is she a senior in high school? Um,
I,
like,
right. And you
how
did
did
the
this
new
happen? Yeah,
yes, how?
yeah. And so from there, I just, my company kind of started doing it part time with some friends who, when you bring your kids into a strange place surrounded by strange people, it's natural, like their natural reaction to kind of be a little off guard. And, moms would get frustrated because they're not getting those smiles that they get at home.
Yes.
And, my friend's like, look, my kid, every time I try to bring her in, she cries her head off. Like, can you just come over to our house? And
Aw.
that's just how it began. I just started doing a couple friends coming to their house, and then they told their friends, and I do in-home location, family and children photography. So
I love that. So good. I think that's such a unique part of your story because when we first met or when we first really started working together, you told me that. And also how you had dreams of going full time. Like you want to go full time. Like you're like,
mhm,
I need to really do the right thing by this business, by, my pricing and like just marketing because your desire is to be full time, which is on its way. We are working there. We are working
we're
diligently
working
there. So
there.
I love that. Yes. So, okay. So let's talk a little bit about how we met, how you met me,
Mhm.
and what like then persuaded you to work with me. And your first working experience was a workshop, but yeah, tell a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I actually met you. Well, I didn't really meet you, but I heard you speak at Imaging USA, and I think it was 2022,
Yep.
in National Harbor. And I just really, I loved what you said. I loved your style, and so I followed you on Instagram. Actually, I think you did like a whole like, follow me on Instagram, and you win a prize. So I was like,
Yes.
I
One of the
want free stuff.
giveaways.
I want free stuff.
Yes.
I want free stuff. So I followed you, and then, randomly one day you went live and you were talking about a workshop you were doing there in Houston. And just everything you said, just like for Photobomb workshop that weekend, just was like resonating with me. I'm like, I want that
Hmm.
for myself, for my career.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting tired of the 9 to 5 that I was doing. And I was like, photography is what I love to do, what brings me joy. So I talked with you back and forth because I was like, okay, this is an investment, and you were never really pushy about coming to the workshop, which I loved. You're like, you'll pay. You're like, girl, I'll pay. You'll pay for it. You know, with a first job, like
Yeah.
this is good. So I did that, and you were talking about in the workshop with the girls of us that were there about your Elevate program, and like you just were very honest because I was very honest with you about how I wasn't quite ready for Elevate. I
Right.
wasn't ready for something that was 12 months long every week. The goals, I'm like, I'm still part time. I'm
Yeah.
not there yet. And you didn't put me down. You're
Hmm.
like, all right, let's talk. And you asked me a few more questions, and then you told me about from hobbyist to pro, and
Hmm.
how you kind of thought that that was more in my area. And, I went ahead and I pulled the plug. Like, again, getting out of my comfort zone. I have tried to do different coaches before, and it just never resonated, never made me feel like, going for it,
Hmm.
that I was going to succeed with them. So, I started this program, and just within the first call, I knew that you were different, and I knew that
No.
uh, you were going to run your course differently
Hmm.
than other coaches,
Hmm.
and that I was like, the first time I think that I thought it was actually possible
Yeah.
for me to make goals and reach those goals. So
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
girl. We've had an incredible ride together.
yeah,
We get emotional. Us we have all the feels and all the love. I'm just so proud of you. So let's talk a little bit about like some of the first things that we started to work on together. Like in your memory, what was like
yeah.
a big kind of transitional kind of foundational work that we started to work on with you and your business?
I think that you just listened.
Hmm.
We did a Zoom call 1-on-1, and you were asking me questions about my why, my background, what I do, and you really just listened,
Hmm.
to everything, and you were like taking copious notes behind the scenes, and then you sent me the copy of that, the video, but also a copy of the notes, and just realizing that I feel like that's the first time that I ever said what I do, why I do it, like why I have this passion for the photography that I do. But the first time I feel like anybody actually listened to my
No,
why.
I love
You were
that.
listening to understand. You weren't listening to be like, okay, well, here's all of the problems with what you're doing, and here's how we're going to fix it. You were listening to me to be like, okay, this is your why. This is where you're at. This is where we want to go. Like,
Hmm.
you were listening so that you understood the path that we needed to take to get me where I wanted to go. So, Like I really,
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. It's the passion. Like for me, for each and every person I work with, I just like to kind of dig deep into that passion, into that why, because my whole thing is like I want you all always to build a business that you love, like that you like, that lights you
Mhm.
up, that brings you joy, especially when we go out to do these services for our clients. Like that's so important to me. So I love to hear that. I love to hear that. I do be taking I have my notes. I'm always like jotting things down. If it's not me, then
Yeah,
it's Robin. Robin is always helping me as well. So shout out to her. But
yeah.
no,
Robin's
yeah,
the
yeah.
behind the scene goddess.
Behind the scene goddess. We love that so much. So I know one thing that we did early on too was really kind of restructure your prices.
Hmm.
So I want you to talk a little bit about that because you do kind of offer you have packages, but then you also have some different services because of the audience that you serve with your dance school and like your different school shoots that you do and the prints and things like that. So talk a little bit about like how you felt about the pricing piece that we did together.
Uh, First, it scared me to death because I'm a creative. I'm not a math person.
Yes.
I've never been, but you made the math make sense.
Mm-hmm.
You gave me, we did the worksheet, the cost of doing business to figure out, you know, what my overhead is, like how much does it cost me to do what I do?
Yeah.
And then this is where I want to go. Like this is the price point, my goal that I want to make. So if that's what I want to do, then I need to do, I need to be making this much per session. And so it really wasn't, I mean, we changed up my prices and the way we did things, but we didn't really do like drastic changes.
Yeah.
You were able to look at what I was currently charging and help me to tweak it, like, well, okay, nobody's doing this lower package, so let's just make your middle package your lowest package and,
Yeah.
and so it was like these little shifts, but just that little shift made a
Such a
drastic change in, what my clients were spending, how they were viewing it more as an investment to do. So that was great. And then you helped me with just knowing that like, okay, this is what the lab call charges me for getting this printing done.
yes.
And not to devalue my time and that to make sure that
Yeah.
I'm valuing myself and everything I do. Like part of my price point is that this is my job.
Mhm.
It's not over after I click the button.
Right.
You know,
It's
it's
just getting
it's
started.
it's just being started. Like the job technically isn't done until the product is in the client's hand.
Right. Right.
So like it really, as much as I hate numbers and math, you
Yes.
you made me understand the numbers. You made me understand the math so that my price points are where I need them to be
Yeah.
to succeed. And I'm not scared of the numbers anymore. I'm not
Yes.
scared to say, like when somebody inquires, to say, well, this is what we're charging. Like this is the investment that you're going to make.
Yeah.
And, if they truly value what I do and they're my ideal client, then
Mm-hmm.
they're not going to balk at that.
Yeah.
And if they do balk, I need to value myself and not lower it to meet them.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, so again, like knowing my numbers and valuing that of myself.
Yes, yes, it's so important. It's so important. Okay, I love this so much. So let me ask you, because I feel like some people might be watching, whether live or on the replay later on, and they are thinking about doing from hobbyist to pro. They're like, I don't really know if I need it. I don't really know if it's really going to help me in particular. So let me ask you, did you have any hesitations when you first when I first introduced From Hobbyist to Pro to you, or even with the workshop,
Mhm.
like even jumping out and traveling down to Houston from New Jersey, coming down, trusting that this was like a good opportunity for you. Did you have any hesitations? And if so, what were they? And like, how did you kind of work through them? Or how'd you feel about that?
Um, I mean, I definitely had the hesitation. Anytime that you are investing in something,
Yeah.
there's always that, hesitation. But, I looked at like number one, just to get away from the hesitation of the cost, I looked at, what it cost and just factored in like, okay, if I do so many sessions that, pays for itself.
Yeah.
And, it's not as, again, when you know the numbers, it's not as intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
And what I loved is that you never promote your programs as, I'm going to make you a success. You
Mm-hmm.
promote your programs, like your wording and everything I saw and in your videos and in our talks together. It just was different. It was, we'll go on a journey, basically, is the vibe that I got. We're going to go on a
Yeah.
journey. We're going to figure out how to get you from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm.
And, you, especially with Hobbyist for Pro, like the Elevate program at first was intimidating because it was like, oh my gosh, like it was like jumping in the deep end and not knowing how to swim. It was
Yeah.
like that's 12 months. It's every week. It's like all these girls and
Yeah.
that was just intimidating. And it was encouraging to have that, like, to go from like the workshop to from hobbyist to pro.
Yeah.
It's 12 weeks. We had one-on-one
Yeah.
calls. It was a smaller group, a
Mm-hmm.
little bit less stress.
Mm-hmm.
But everything, if it wasn't reinforcing something, it was helping me to believe in myself.
That's it.
Because one
Yeah.
of my biggest things was my mindset. I've
Mm-hmm.
been doing this for part-time for so many years. Like if I was supposed to go full-time, I would have the clients and, people don't even want to pay me now. Like there are so many photographers around me, just not valuing what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just fed up. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, you know what? Worst case scenario, I invest this money and I maybe learn a few things. But I'm not going to know unless I try. I'm not
Yes.
going to
Yes.
succeed unless I take the steps. I need to value me. I need
Yeah.
to value investing in me.
Yeah.
I can't invest in my clients if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
investing in myself
Mm-hmm.
and my mindset. So I just was like, I have nothing to lose by
Mm-hmm.
trying this out. And I'm kind of so glad that, I got that vibe of like that it was going to be different.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That you were gonna help me and go along with me, not tell me the 27 steps I need to take, and if I don't take them, I'm not going to succeed.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you're, you're very good at never saying "I told you so." You were just like, "Yes, way to
Yes.
go!"
We get there. It's like
Yeah,
we get
like,
there. We land where we're supposed to land in the time we're supposed to land, and it feels really good.
yeah,
So I love that you said you had nothing to lose, and I think like everything to gain. I mean,
hmm
yes, you had money to lose, right? But
yeah,
one of my big core values in business is integrity and care. And so when people take that leap of faith on themselves and invest in working with me, I take it very serious. So I'm like
hmm
trying to do everything in my power to just meet you where you're at and really kind of massage through and work through
yeah,
kinks and hurdles, whether it's mindset or foundational, operational, whatever it is, and kind of get you to that point B and point C and point D and make it start to make it feel really good and make it feel like your business. Like I think a lot of times with photographers, we are looking at everybody else's business and what everyone else is doing around us and how they're doing it and where they're shooting and who they're shooting with and what their price is, all these things. But it's like, let's really hone in on yours and make your
hmm
business make sense. For you. So
yeah.
I love that. So this is a great bridge for us to talk about the success. Let's talk about last year. Last year was
Last year
such
was crazy.
great year for you, Stephanie. So talk to me about it. 2022, you made around a little over 12,000
hmm
in your business. So we came into 2023, your biggest goal was like, Ray, I want to make $6,000 a quarter. And I was like,
hmm
okay. So it was like around $2,000 a month. Like that was the goal. And I remember
Yep,
you setting that and you were like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't even know if I fully believe that I can do it,
I
but I'm
didn't.
going to say it, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah. And so then let's talk about what actually occurred last year.
Yeah. We did the workshop in December of 2022.
Yep.
And, then I, pulled the plug. So January we started of 2023 and we made this goal of 24,000. and
Yep.
I was just like, okay, double what I made the year before. Like, because I still had a 9 to 5. Like, I still had a
Yeah.
5 day a week, full-time job. So I was like, but putting it out there, knowing that, this is what I want and I needed to do it, give
Yeah.
myself the audacious goal.
Hmm.
And, quarter one was just kind of reset, get myself together, make my goals, my plan. And, it was in May when I did the dance school
Yep.
that I really, like, we had restructured pricing a little bit and fixed things. And I just, at the end of the day, I looked at the sales number and I was like, okay, maybe I can do this.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and then I just had other jobs. And I know going into, October into quarter four, I'm like, I can see it coming. Like, I think I was at like 19 and I was like, okay, if I can just get to 20, I'll be happy, you
Hmm.
know?
Hmm.
Um, and then I did, you know, a couple things over the holidays. And I just remember coming home I did some pictures with Santa,
Yes.
um, in November. And I never in my mind would have thought that just taking a picture of kids with Santa would put me over my goal.
Yes.
Um, but
Yes.
I texted you and I was like, oh my God, I like just checked it after this long day of photographing like 90 kids with Santa. It was a marathon of a day. I was so exhausted. I was like, I must not be seeing this number right. I was texting you. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And,
Yes.
and it was crazy because I still had the whole month of December to go.
Yeah.
So just with December and closing out the holiday family portraits and things, I exceeded. Like you were like, okay, well you met your goal, so let's make these.
A
Here's a
new
good,
goal.
here's a better, here's a best.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
and I ended up making that 25, and I, I'm ecstatic that I
Yes.
did it. Um,
Yes.
and it's great. And what I loved is that like on the jobs that didn't go or the months or the weeks that I'm like, okay, the money's not coming in, there was never any negativity.
Hmm.
There was, well, take time to rest. Like you didn't do anything to this week. Take the time to rest. You weren't feeling good.
Yeah.
There was always encouragement, never putting me down, never like, oh, you didn't, that sale didn't make what you wanted it to. Let's reassess what you did wrong. It was all right. Like, let's just go to the next thing. Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, you know, I just loved that you kept pushing because I'm like, okay, I made this goal. Like, I'm good. Like, I made my quarter three goal, and you're like, okay, let's keep going. Like,
Let's
quarter
make.
three is not over.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
was never, reach the goal and then like let's celebrate that, but then let's keep pushing. Like, what's the next step?
Yeah.
Keep challenging me. You were the biggest cheerleader, so that's what.
Oh, yes. Yes. You know I am, Stephanie. You know it. Like, I just, every time you would send me new screenshots of sales and like just seeing it, I'm just like, like we would just have a field day in the DMs and all the things. So
Yeah,
just so proud of the work that you've done and like how focused and dedicated you've been, and also while also like resting and enjoying life and like not like full burning out. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like loving what you're doing. And I think that that's so important. And really sticking to your guns about what you say you want to do, also like what your prices are, you know what I mean, knowing your
yeah,
minimum, like just kind of knowing, having that plan and going into every client session or every project, every gig kind of with an idea of what the outcome should be, based on data, based on numbers, kind of all those things. And so I'm excited because now you are Elevate Girly. Okay, you are Elevate Girly. You are in the deep waters, as you would call it.
yeah,
And I hope that it doesn't feel like too crazy and deep. I hope that you feel like, you
no,
know what? I can swim with the dolphins. I can be here, and I can succeed here because you're doing it. And
yeah,
sometimes we just need that level of reassurance. We need to build that confidence. We need to, be have a cheerleader, right? Have a community, like have someone kind of backing you, have a plan. All those pieces to the puzzle um, come together in its due time.
yeah. And I
Yeah.
think the mindset factors. You spend in the modules you do with Hobbyist for Pro. There's a whole section like before you really get into like the meat and bones, like
Yes.
the the money and the business and the packages and the website. Like you talk about our mindset,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that was my biggest roadblock. Is that I never believed I was qualified. I never believed I was good enough
Yeah.
to be full time. I didn't think that I knew enough or that I had the right stuff, or that I was even worth investing in.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
like I think the thing is that I kind of had this from other people, like, oh, to have a business coach, like you must not know what you're doing. But it wasn't that I didn't know what I was doing. It's that I needed someone on my side. I needed someone to keep me accountable. I
Yeah.
needed somebody to push me that
Hmm.
knew what to say. Like I've got friends and family that are like, you're great. All of everybody on my, Instagram are supporters, but having somebody who knows the industry,
Hmm.
who has set goals with me and is keeping me accountable, like that mindset of knowing I had somebody in my corner who was going to push me, challenge me, kick my butt gently when I needed it.
Yes.
That that is the benefit of having a business coach. That is one of the benefits of having for Hobbyist to Pro, and even now with Elevate, just knowing that community
Hmm.
is there to celebrate with you when you achieve these big goals,
Yeah.
to push you when you're close to your goals, to push you to reset when you don't meet a goal.
Hmm.
Um, like that community and mindset is just so beneficial.
Yes. So I cannot agree. I think that I say this all the time. A big part of our journey as photographers, as entrepreneurs in general, is you just developing into the best you that you can be, right? It is
Yeah.
definitely a you versus you game. And I think the more we learn ourselves and we know how we are, like what we need in order to thrive and be our best self, the more that you can find that, right? I am also the type of person that loves community and loves support and loves accountability. And, I really thrive there. Like, not that I can't do it by myself. I just do it even better when I have like the right people around me, the right minds, the right support, the right strategists in place, And so I think that that is our personal journey in learning, how do I show up best? And if you know that you show up best when you have someone that is holding you accountable, setting realistic goals with you, in the trenches, in the business with you, kind of really looking at the data, looking at things, helping you evolve, and also helping you shift your mind. Like you said, like mindset is everything. Shift your mind, shift your beliefs about what's possible, you're capable of, what you are worthy of, and how to, really like grow in that confidence, right? Grow as that CEO. I know you can't see me. I so wish you could see me because I know you would be smiling from ear to ear. But no, that's such a big, big part of
Yeah,
it. And so
it really
I'm going to
is.
pause. Yeah, I'm going to pause and say, for those that are on here, the enrollment for From Hobbyist to Pro is open. It is a 12-week live coaching program where I will be your coach all quarter 2. And so all you have to do is comment Go Pro to learn more information about it. You can also come to my DMs. DMs are open. I'll be answering any questions. We're doing this conversation with Stephanie because she was a From Hobbies to Pro member last year and did amazing, incredible things. She not only did she double her revenue last year from her previous year, but she shifted her mind into being the CEO, right, of her business and feeling good about it. And is going to do incredible things this year. It's not always about the numbers and sales. It's just about how you show up. And one thing I can say for sure, Stephanie, is like I've seen you blossom, right? You are coming alive behind that camera, behind social media. You'll do stories, you'll talk to people. I just love that. I love to see that confidence build, and I know it's something that you can feel as well in yourself, right?
Yeah,
I'm believing that.
yeah, totally.
Okay, good. Okay, good. So, my last question, which will be a fun question, is what was your favorite part? Or I mean, you can still speak to it now, but let's kind of talk about from hobbies to pro. What was your favorite part of working with me in that program?
Well, for me, it's because I kind of had you to myself.
Yes, you did.
We have people, but like our schedules never coincided. So you were really cool in helping us out, and for some of the calls, you would
Yeah.
do different things. Um, so yeah, that was nice to have you all to myself and not have to share you. But I just think that it was the genuine, like you didn't even just send like emojis. I would send you screenshots of things like, and they're not like, they weren't like astronomical, like, numbers, but it was meeting goals. And you would send me like voice messages. Your like voice was so like, I was like, oh my gosh, she's so happy. Like I could envision you like doing a happy dance, and
Yes.
you just like your enthusiasm was just on point um for everything, like every little goal. Like I would post like a post or a story on something on Instagram, and you would be like, girl, this is fire. You just feel like your energy is just
Yes.
the best thing about working with you. It's just so positive, and like you can't get off of a call, like even when you were like being tough love, like
Yes.
we need to like buckle down, like we're coming to the end of this quarter, we need to like push to make these goals. Like even on those kind of tough calls, like I would get off the call feeling so encouraged and
Yeah.
like, okay, I've got this, like we have a plan, here we go,
Very
let's
good.
go.
Yeah.
um like just that positive encouraging like vibe is just so great. And hi, Lysandra.
Yes. We have the girls on here. I think Isora had joined earlier too, which was fun.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
she joined somewhere, I saw her.
Yes, yes. Well, girl, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of all the work, the dedication, the sacrifice, the courage, the determination that you put forward and still are putting forward in your business. I'm always cheering you on. I'm always rooting for you. Um,
Yeah.
I want to say thank you so much for coming on live. I know you can't see me. It's a little technical on her side, but girl, you look good. You look great. So everybody can see you. Yes. So thank you so much for taking the time out today to share your experience. This has been
Yeah.
like literally, I have all the feels. Like my heart is so warm. And I'm just proud. I'm just proud. Still proud to be your coach and
I'm
mentor.
just so
And
proud I
so
didn't cry.
I know, me too. Me too. We're gonna get off here without tears. Like that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. So thank you so much, Stephanie. Thank
Yes,
you so much. Do you have any
thank you,
closing
Ray.
words or anything you want to share? I don't know. Anything, any
I,
last words?
I just honestly, if anybody is watching this live or on the replay, and you're a photographer and you, or really any business, if you don't do it with Ray, I just encourage you to get a business coach. But if you're on the fence about from hobbyist to pro, I just say jump off the fence. It's worth it. I don't regret it one iota. Everybody that even knows me wanted to know what was the difference from last year. They saw my attitude change. They saw my business change. They were seeing my work just improve. And it's from working with Ray. It's from hobbyist to pro and just investing in me.
Yeah.
So don't hesitate to do it. It will be worth it to just work with this content. So
Yes. Love that. I
Ray's the
love
best
that.
coach.
Oh, I'm like giving you a big old heart. I'm giving you a big old heart. That is so sweet. So sweet. Well, thank you, girlfriend.
Yeah,
I really do appreciate you.
thank you.
Happy. I know that it is Easter week for us, and so we are doing all the things here in Holy Week. So I'm wishing you an amazing evening this evening.
Thank
And
you.
I'll talk to you later.
Yes, bye everybody.
Bye.